So good morning, everybody. Please make sure you're on mute so that we don't have background noises disturbing us as much as possible. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about the parsha for this week, which is Ve'echi, and it's the last parsha in the book of Genesis. So Genesis ends with Joseph's death, and the parsha starts with Jacob's preparing for his death and Jacob's death. So for me, the entire book of Genesis is really about family. It's about our ancestors, and their stories are told in such a way that we can learn from them and see clearly that they're human, they're not gods. And we see their faults and their accomplishments, and we see the resilience that they display throughout their trials and tribulations. As Jacob is preparing for his death, he gives very specific burial instructions to his sons. He states that he's to be buried in the family plot with his father and grandfather, mother and grandmother, and his first wife, Leah, who's also in this particular burial cave. He's pointing to the importance of family lineage and of remembering our ancestors. He also blesses his sons and two grandsons, Ephraim and Manasseh, while on his deathbed. The whole idea of offering blessings and receiving blessings is really interesting to me. I noticed that when I offer blessings over the Shabbat candles, I can really feel in my body a letting go of the past week, a sense of, whew, okay, now I can relax. Often, however, I offer blessings really rotely and out of habit. And that doesn't move me. For me, when I am really present, really focusing on the blessing I'm offering, it seems to make a difference. When I can bring my attention fully to the moment, I can open up to my sense of interconnection with others. And that both requires and makes possible kind of a heart opening and a softening. And that's clearly what happens for me when I'm lighting the Shabbat candles. And it honestly doesn't usually happen for me when I'm doing the blessing over wine, for example. I did not grow up with the practice of blessing the children at the Shabbat table. It's not a custom I was familiar with, and when I learned about it, I really didn't understand it. For those of you who are not familiar, the blessings for boys is may you be like Ephraim and Manasseh, and for girls, it's may you be like Sarah, Rebecca, Leah, and Rachel. I never understood why Ephraim and Manasseh. They're not the patriarchs. So one commentary I read suggested that they're the first sibling pair in the Torah that doesn't fight. So take that for what it's worth. Marcia Falk, in her book, The Book of Blessings, raises the issue and wrote an explanation of her reconstructed blessing for the children. And she wrote, "Why Ephraim and Manasseh? One cannot help but wonder. Indeed, why any particular ancestors at all? In its specificity, this blessing seems restrictive rather than expansive. It doesn't open out to the range of possibility and promise that ought to characterize youth. Indeed, why should we wish for a child to be anything other than her or his best self? Not living one's own life, not being true to the unique configuration of gifts and potential that nourish the self from within is a tragedy. Yet letting a child be herself, himself, letting go of the expectation that do not emerge from the reality of who the child is one of the hardest lessons parents have to learn. Her reconstructed blessing of the children for the Shabbat table is you say the child's name, be who you are, and may you be blessed in all that you are. She goes on to explain the purpose of this new blessing is twofold: to provide affirmation for the child and to foster awareness in the giver of the blessing. I saw it as a spur to a particular kind of knowledge at the particular moment in time, that pause that occurs at the onset of the Sabbath, during which we let go of strivings and take note of the world's abiding gifts. In this framework of appreciation on Sabbath Eve, as we celebrate the whole of creation, we pay special attention to the children in our midst, thankful for their being, accepting who they are, hopeful that they will blossom into their best selves. I agree with this. I want each of us to be the best we can be without comparing ourselves to others. However, there is a real power in knowing we are linked to a chain of ancestors who receive love and care from each other and from God, and who intended that blessing to extend to us. So I propose for today that we focus on a blessing practice that incorporates, hopefully, both our individuality and our ancestors' blessings for us. So I invite you to find your comfortable, relaxed, yet alerted position. And feeling yourself really supported. And focusing for a moment on those contact points between your body and the chair or the cushion or the floor. And bring your attention now to your breath. And taking a few nice, deep cleansing breaths. Breathing in fully and holding it. And then exhaling completely and slowly. And doing that again. And once you have settled, take some time to contemplate the lineage of love and care that has come down to you. So let's start with bringing to mind the people who've made it possible for you to be here right now, today. Maybe teachers and mentors who've nurtured your connection to Torah and to Judaism, maybe to mindfulness practice, or maybe to activism of some sort. Imagine that they are here right now with you in this moment. Let the love and care that they have for you wash over you. Now bring to mind people whose love and care brings you a feeling of safety. Maybe those are friends or family members, maybe old lovers or new lovers, people who have really been good to you. Imagine that they are here with you in this moment and feel their blessings of safety and let that surround you. And now let's bring to mind those people who made your life on this earth possible, those people who gave birth to you, who took care of you when you were a baby, when you were a child, who cared for you when you were sick. Now bring to mind the people who gave birth to those people. Allow yourself to just sit in this circle of love and caring. Your space may be feeling a little crowded with your mentors and teachers and family members and friends and lovers and parents and grandparents, all present, all sending you their blessings for you, their love and their caring. This is what it feels like to be blessed. Now I invite you to bring to mind the next generation or two, your children or grandchildren or any children or members of the next generation whom you care about. Imagine that they're here with you and wish them well. You may want to use phrases such as may you be blessed with joy and safety and strength. May you be blessed with ease. This is what it feels like to give a blessing. And if you like, as we sit in silence now, you may want to expand your well wishes, your blessings, to include all children everywhere, or maybe all people everywhere. As you are slowly and gently coming back to the room, I'm going to read the last portion of Marge Piercy's The Art of Blessing the Day. The blessing for the return of a favorite cat, the blessing for love returned, for friends returned, for money received unexpected, the blessing for the rising of the bread, the sun, the oppressed. I am not sentimental about old men mumbling the Hebrew by rote with no more feeling than one says Gesundheit. But the discipline of blessing is to taste each moment, the bitter, the sour, the sweet, and the salty, and to be glad for what does not hurt. The art is in compressing attention to each little and big blossom of the tree of life, to let the tongue sing each fruit, its savor, its aroma, and its use. Attention is love, what we must give children, mothers, fathers, pets, our friends, the news, the woes of others. What we want to change, we curse and then pick up a tool. Bless whatever you can with eyes and hands and tongue. If you can't bless it, get ready to make it new. So I invite you to share your thoughts